Hi. I know this kind of content isn't what I usually make, and no, this isn't some sort of problematic branding video or anything, but I figured this was a big enough topic for me to talk about, especially how it revolves around what I most post on my channel anyway. So, you can probably already guess what I mean by that, if you've even looked at this channel for a second. Preferably my old archived shorts. They were the times. Starts with a T and ends with L, if you're feeling spicy. Though, this will probably be the only video I make that references what is actually going on in my life. However, since the majority of the people who have taken a peek of my channel before are my friends, this video can be a special new opportunity for them to learn about their favorite girl, me, of course. Obvious I'm just making this for fun, and although this may be a small topic for most, I talk about it now because of how much it means to me, and that I probably would have been dusty and homeless and have no relativity without it whatsoever. Sorry if this video is shitty as hell visual, as I said before, I don't make this kind stuff, so you're gonna have to bear with my hair. But enough of the things you probably don't care about, let's talk about me. So in 5th or 6th grade there was this kid I used to hang out with a lot, we'll call him Alex. Alex and I used to play Roblox all the time after once randomly finding out we both liked it during lunch break. I personally don't like introducing the games I like myself cause I'll get called a dork, so I'd always let him find games to play for me instead. Obviously the games were boyish and stuff because I'm a tomboy final boss, but one game was different from the others. One caught my eye, so interesting to the point it'd keep me hooked for hours on end. And surprise, surprise, that game was, drumroll please, World of Trolls. Yeah, word from earlier reveal if you somehow didn't figure that out already. I've always enjoyed quite a bit of fighting games in the past, but somehow the concept of silly troll faces fighting each other and collecting cups could keep me glued to it for so long. I ended up becoming so addicted that I sometimes even ignored my friends just to play it. I was real annoying back then, if you couldn't tell. However, in a tale of unfortunate events, at the time that Alex introduced me to World of Trolls, it shut down a few weeks after. I was devastated. I didn't even know what to do without it. I loved it so much, so I had to force my sloppy depressed ass to other games like Rate My Amateur. But hey, Rate My Amateur was how I got into fighting, so I don't regret it at all. Even though I was still devastated World of Trolls was gone, I soon forgot about it, and left it alone for a few months after it reopened, because I didn't bother to check up on it again. But one fateful day, I decided to check up on the game that led to me becoming one of the worst friends you'd ever have. I rejoined at the Easter update, and I slowly but surely got back into it again. However, something just felt off. It didn't feel the same when I used to play it, because Alex had already moved on from World of Trolls, and I'd look stupid if I continued to play it without him, but I played anyway, and in return, made some new friends. When I made friends there it felt like I struck gold with people who have my favorite interest. Those other friends in question would then introduce me to other games that were similar to World of Trolls, different Trolls games. One of the first ones I tried out was TUI. Yes, it's a sloppy game, but getting to spend time with those friends there was always fun. I didn't play TUI ironically though, I was mostly just there to watch my friends dangle their cool stuff in front of my face. However, one of the games they showed me was TLI. TLI has defined to have one of the biggest impact on me out of most of the Trolls games. My other friends like TLI was pretty niche at the time, not extremely niche, but it still had a handful amount of players normal on it. Updates were pretty nice too. TLI was defined to the game I souped the most time into. I was making new friends and progressing like it's nothing. However, what may seem so scary is that some of the friends that I met there are not good people. If I remembered every vain word that they spoke revolving around how our friendship would often break, I'd be able to write a book. There was genuinely so much going on in there that I would get so overwhelmed trying to talk to them, and I also felt pretty threatened because one of our quote-unquote friends was nearly an adult. A fucking adult. He would normal guilt trip us and try to manipulate us when we didn't do what he wanted us to do. I do hope most of the people involved in this is doing okay now. I'm so thankful I could get myself out of that situation before it could escalate any further. Some of the friends in question I'm still in touch with. They're good people. And you know, little old me was so inspired from games like this, that one day she decided to use her already pre-downloaded Roblox Studio to try and practice making her own. The game in question was actual public for around a year before I took it down because I was exhausted from doing it. I'm not going to say the name of the game here because I don't want people from that community interacting with me any further. Now that I have developed some skills, shitty modeling and animating skills, little emmoons thought, wow, I'm so good at developing already. I should work and contribute to other games that aren't mine. So there she went. She went to work on T:/QTI, and most of you won't recognize that, because the game never released. Probably because of low quality it was. The map literally consisted of 3 models, so it's fair. However, as I slowly stopped working on T:/QTI as well, I went to go see the game that brought me here just one more time. World of Trolls. The last time I checked, World of Trolls improved so much the last time I checked up on it before I started moving on to other Trolls games, and starting playing a variety of Trolls games all at once, and at this point sometimes I'd actually help myself to find some other fuck-ass Trolls games for me to play. Mostly sloppy, but it's okay. World of Trolls has brought me some great people, Rock, Ankle, Nalimus, Log, and Roofs. Most of the people from there weren't real into Trolls, though. They just played World of Trolls because it was fun. However, besides Ankle and Roofs, one doomsday, Roofs dragged me away from my World of Trolls spree, and brought me to a game called Gulp. Brace yourselves. Tar. I deadass can't tell if Tar was the best decision of my life, or the worst ever. It's like a coin flip. One thing I will say though, the hive mind, they're all in reeks of shit. But back to the main point. Roofs probably already knew about how much I loved World of Trolls, and the Trolls genre in general, so he introduced me to a game probably the highest quality out of any of the Trolls games I played at the time. I found it pretty interesting, and put some time into it, and shortly after, I joined the Discord server. Probably the worst decision I could have ever made. I didn't think much of the game, it was pretty cool, I wasn't like an OG or anything here, I joined a bit after the release event ended with Cross and Troll Golden. At first glance the community seemed pretty nice, and it was. When I first started talking in their Discord, I got to know a few more people I have seen before in the past because they've had some sort of impact on me, like the owner of Trollface RP game I used to play. The staff of Tar used to play the game pretty often, and I'd try my best to get to know them because I loved making friends with the same interests as me. Bad choice for me now, good choice for me then. And the first out of many times, I got dragged into a duo VC with a few other people and the owner of the game. I don't remember who they were in specific because of how long ago it was, but all I know is that if I saw them now I'd definitely recognize one or two. I never really used to unmute my mic in these VCs. I did once, but it didn't last long since I kept getting talked over. One thing that I found pretty rad, though, were the events, mostly hosted by a mob. One of the events in question was a recently hosted tournament for Tar players to fight each other on a pillar to see which team survives last. I, being the curious one I was, decided to join a team. I joined a team with SSD, a developer at the time, Garlic Troll, and Lemon, also a developer at the time. I felt honored to be in a team with some people I looked up to, so I added them, and we locked in our team for the tournament. However, for some reason, there was a trend for the other teams resigning. Literal 2 of the teams we were supposed to go against resigned, so we got tickets into the last fight. However, second and first place would both get a prize, and first place would only get a prize for one member on their team. So we resigned in second place so all of us could get a prize instead, and good for us, the prize first place one actual ended up getting deleted anyway, so yeah. These type of things used to my favorite, because it actually let me get to know people easier. And oh, yes it did. I became pretty well known in the community, I talked more, I started joining more events, VCs, etc. I also started art again, specifically to make fan art for this game, because I loved it so much. And people liked my art even got put in game until the map rework came. It felt like I was actually becoming a real person in this community, and not just a random. Going in VCs was fun even though I didn't unmute, and, let me tell you, those VCs got me to know some awesome people. Emphasizing awesome. One of the people, for example, now stands as one of the most important people in my life now. And I wouldn't be surprised if he was watching this right now. My humble self joined a VC with a user named Ripped Out Troll, also known as KOA. Now, at first glance this guy was quite similar to how I was. He made art at the time, knew the staff pretty well, and was surprisingly British as well. I know. Scary. I didn't think much of this guy at first. Sure, we used to hang out every now and then, but we both had our own priorities. That's when I started seeing he joined VCs pretty often, so I would as well. We hung out until we considered each other friends, and he added me. It was nice to make some new friends. A bit after I got to know him, another event was being hosted by a mob, and this one included a stage where you could talk in. Since I knew Abob pretty well because of how often I joined his events, he let me onto stage, and I spoke for the first time in front of my friends, who have never heard my voice before, mostly being Roofs, Ankle, and even KOA. After that stage, and how supportive people were about how I sounded, I actually became more confident in unmuting in VC. I started using my voice more often, and people spoke to me in VCs more because I was easier to talk to. I loved this game and its community deal. And since the game was so high quality compared to the usual Trolls game I'd play, I used it to help me with my own developing skills, and gradually, I got so much better, like a billion times better than I would have considered myself before I found this game. And my art also got gradually better as I kept drawing for it and the people in its community. I became super close with the people in the community too. KOA I considered my best friend, and the owner of the game too. However, over time, the game became more popular, more people started joining the Discord server, and for some reason, once I got to know KOA well, people slowly but surely became so spiteful and hateful to me for no particular reason. Most of these people in question were the TAR staffs. There was only one or two staff members that wasn't part of the TAR hive mind to just hate on someone for being themselves. Some of the friends I made there even started hating me as well, almost as if I became the butt of a joke. People used to ship me with KOA, which made me real uncomfortable at the time. It got so bad to the point we used to get harassed for even talking to each other. A bit after that, we both distanced ourselves from TAR. TAR had become one of the most overwhelming Trolls games I had ever played because of its community. I've grown severe hatred for it, but it's not like I could real hate it. TAR by far has given me the most of skills, friends, and overall experience in my life. I can now model real well, and I'm currently working for different high-quality Trolls game, and my art has peaked so much from me not trying to impress everyone in TAR because of how bad I wanted attention. TAR is a good game, don't get me wrong, but sometimes I just felt out of place there. And I can and will say this now, TAR, World of Trolls, and the Trolls genre in its entirety has changed my life for the better. I genuinely don't know where I'd be right now if it weren't for this. The butterfly effect is really weird. And although I'm not as interested in Trolls now, I really appreciate everyone and everything that has brought me to where I am now. My current friends, my awesome boyfriend KOA, Roofs, and last but not least, my friend from 5th grade, Alex, for introducing me to World of Trolls. funny thing about Alex now is that I actually went to his messages and tried to thank him until that's when I found out he blocked me. I don't know what I ever did to him, but whatever. Thank you to everyone who has brought me to where I am now and who I am as a person. I really mean that. This journey has been a roller coaster with its ups and downs, and hey, it builds character. This has been a real long video, and I also thank the people who actually have a long enough attention span to watch the whole thing. As I said once before, don't expect me to make more videos like this, but this is my thank you. And I'll see you in another few months, probably.